You're the first to speak. Start now. What did you see on Kome after Treasure? We are going to hear his story later. Wir werden seine Geschichte später hören. Joel, was hast du gesehen auf der Insel? What did you see?
I saw something like it was like a ghost. And he was very tall and he was pure black.
What kind of hair did he have?
He never really had hair.
Bald.
Yeah.
And what did he do? What did you see him doing? Was hast du gesehen, was gemacht hat?
He was just walking and then he just passed through the wall. And after he just disappeared. And after I never saw anybody.
Also hat einen Geist gesehen, sehr, sehr groß und komplett schwarz. Und er ist durch eine Wand gelaufen. And you said he was completely black?
Yes.
Even his fingers, everything?
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Did you like it? Did you like it? How he looked like?
No.
You were disgusted?
Yeah. And his nose was like really long.
His nose was like long?
Very, yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Seine Nase war ganz lang und auch seine Finger, alles waren ganz schwarz.
And he was not wearing any shoes.
Und er hat keine Schuhe angehabt. Anything else?
No.
That was it?
Yeah.
And then you were shocked?
Yeah.
And then your cousin also had an experience, you remember?
Oh, Mark.
Yes?
What is it?
Remember one is a ghost in the water.
Oh, yeah.
That one, yeah.
Okay, now we can continue with that question.
Okay, now, Treasure, please tell us your story.
It starts off when we were in the kitchen in Kome, and there were a lot of people in there.
Es waren viele Leute in der Küche.
And there were a lot of demons surrounding us in form of smoke.
Und viele Dämonen haben uns umgeben in der Form von Rauch.
So they were moving around the kitchen, and then they would randomly just take someone out of the kitchen, and then that person would come back in. But I wouldn't notice that something was definitely wrong.
Also die haben Leute einfach zufällig aus der Kitche quasi entführt. Die sind aber dann wieder zurückgekommen.
I think they took around 2 or 3 people that I knew, including Joshua, by the way. They also took him.
Also die haben 2 Leute, die ich gekannt habe, genommen, unter anderem auch Joshua. And what did they do to these people? Was haben die mit diesen Menschen gemacht?
Before I didn't really pay attention to it, so they just took them and brought them back. And then I think when it was the 3rd time, was when I realized that something was wrong, because okay, they looked like the person who went out, but they weren't acting the same way.
Ja, also die Leute haben sich verändert. Sie haben ausgesehen wie die aus der Küche raus sind, aber als sie zurückkamen, waren sie verändert. Okay, in what sense? They were different in what sense?
Instead of you see the way a person normally acts. Okay, they did some of that, but then they don't. You know how you can share good times and bad times, everything, You share all those bonds with people. They didn't really have that. It's like they had forgotten or they had been brainwashed.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, also er meint, dass die Leute sich innerlich verändert haben. Also die haben nichts mehr geteilt mit den anderen und wie wenn sie gehirngewaschen worden wären.
So it wasn't very easy to notice, but then eventually, I don't know how, but some flour just happened to land on one of them, and then they just melted.
What flour?
Wheat.
Wheat flour?
Yes.
From where? From where?
I don't know. Just kind of landed on the back of their neck, here on the back of the neck, and then they just started melting.
Also er sagt jetzt, dass
and it was really disgusting.
Weizenmehl sei auf ihrem Nacken gelandet, oder Mehl für Brot, und dann sind die geschmolzen und es war ekelhaft. Why do you say disgusting?
Well, it looked like how to explain this?
Warum sagst du ekelhaft?
It looked like
oh yes, it looked a bit like snail slime,
Okay.
But when the flour goes on the back of that person's neck, they would just melt down, but it would be really a lot, It would just scatter around, and then
So, also der sagt, es sei wie so Schneckenschleim gewesen, also wenn der Weizen, also das Mehl auf den Nacken ging, dann sind die wie so ein Schleimhaufen waren die dann. And then what happened?
So when that happened, I don't know, it just kind of transitioned, and then I found myself with me and all those other people we were tied to a tree.
Ja, und dann hat sich die Situation geändert und sie waren alle an einen Baum gebunden. Inclusive you.
Yes.
Also
I
er
was there
selber
as
auch
well,
war
yeah.
an einen Baum
I was
gebunden.
seeing myself there, but then I was seeing as well everything around. It was kind of like in third person, yes.
Okay, you were watching, observer.
I was watching, but then seeing
Yes,
myself
yes.
as
Also er
well,
war wie
yeah.
Beobachter, hat sich selber auch da gesehen, okay?
So there were then after that a lot of them came. I don't know where they came from, but there were so many, and they just started moving around the tree, all in random patterns, But you couldn't what? You couldn't notice that someone's there moving around.
These demons?
Yes.
In what form?
Smoke, still in
Still?
smoke, yes.
Okay, also diese Dämonen haben sich dann in Mustern bewegt, aber zufällige Muster und man konnte irgendwie nicht herausfinden, was sie vorhatten.
Then I think Janet, I don't know, she had some kind of device. I don't know what it was, but then it was like a small tablet, and then we could see exactly how they're moving.
Okay, also die Janet, meine Frau, hat einen Gegenstand gehabt, wie ein Tablet, also so ein Pad, und da konnte man sehen, wie sie sich bewegen, okay?
And so on there we could see exactly how they're moving and what they're doing, but then still we actually didn't know why they were doing all of this, because
Okay.
they just kept on bringing people from around the island,
Really?
and then adding them to that tree. Yes.
So, die haben Leute von der ganzen Insel gebracht und haben die da zu diesem Baum gebracht, quasi gefangen genommen, ja? Okay, so they captured.
Yes, they just kept on capturing random people and then bringing them, and yet the space wouldn't get done. You see now, like this tree right here, you would be so many people there, but then you wouldn't feel squeezed at all. But yet, when you look, you see a lot of people around that same tree.
Es waren also ganz viele Leute, aber man hat sich nicht bedrängt gefühlt.
And then, after that, I think we remembered that the only way to actually kind of do any damage to them was to get some flour. So then once again, I don't know how it happened, but it kind of just came out of nowhere. Then it landed on some of them, and then kind of like the ropes that were tying us, they kind of loosened.
Okay, also der einzige Weg, um diese Wesen zu schädigen, war eben dieses Mehl. Und dann, er weiß nicht, woher das Mehl kam, auf jeden Fall kam das Mehl wieder und dann wurden auch diese Seile wurden dann gelockert. They were loosened or you were released?
They were loosened, but then you could still move, but not completely properly.
Okay, also man konnte sich bewegen, aber noch nicht richtig bewegen.
So someone, I don't know who, but they just went into the kitchen, and then brought for us bags and bags of flour.
Okay, dann haben sie angeschleppt Säcke um Säcke aus Mehl.
First, they put it around the tree.
Dann haben sie das Mehl um den Baum herum gemacht.
So the ropes completely loosened.
Okay, dann sind die Seile losgeworden.
We could move again. And
Da haben sie sich wieder frei bewegen können.
Yeah. Then we all just got. I think we got a small portion. Then we were moving around the whole island. Yes. Then when you find one, you just throw some of it in the air. Then it would just come down and melt again.
Also die sind auf der ganzen Insel rumgelaufen mit diesem Mehl und haben diese Geister bestreut.
So we kept on moving and moving. I think for maybe a few hours.
Also für einige Stunden, meint er, haben sie das gemacht.
Yeah, maybe 3 or 4. We were just moving around endlessly, but then if you didn't find any, you would at least leave a bit of it around where you've passed.
Okay, also man hat einfach das wie eine Falle quasi. Wenn man keine gesehen hat, hat man es hingelegt, dieses Mehl. Quasi wie eine Falle, damit sich dann jemand berührt daran. Okay.
So, eventually, after those 4 hours, we came back.
Da sind wir zurückgekommen.
To that same tree.
Zum gleichen Baum.
Oh yeah, and then still, this time again, everyone noticed that a few people still weren't acting the same, like they always do. Okay,
also einige Leute waren immer noch stark verändert, wesensverändert.
And then what we did, everyone just started putting a bit of flour on the back of their neck. Yes.
Of the bewitched ones.
Yes. No. Each and every one there. You had to put a bit of it on
also alle haben von diesem Mehl gegessen.
I don't know how, but
Nicht gegessen, Entschuldigung, man hat es ihnen auf den Nacken gemacht. Yes.
I don't know, but I think that was the only way to stop them from possessing you.
Okay.
Then, yeah, the people who are actually possessed, for them they try to rebel a bit, but not in an obvious way that you could easily tell this person isn't
Okay,
himself.
also die haben sich ein bisschen gewehrt, aber nicht so offensichtlich, dass man hätte glauben können, sie wollen das Mail überhaupt nicht. Aber sie haben sich ein bisschen dagegen gewehrt, die Leute, die da besetzt worden waren.
But then the problem is, once they possess you, even if you get the flower after that, still you're going to die with them. Yes, you die with the ghost itself.
Say that again. What?
Once it possesses you,
yes,
and they put the flower on the back of your neck, once you melt, the ghost it dies, but then you also die as well. So you melt together with it.
Okay, also die Besetzten, wenn man das Weizenmehl drauf gemacht hat, die sind they were dying with the demons.
Yes. You don't, the person, let's say now like my body, if the ghost wasn't me, I would melt along with it. It wouldn't take back its physical form of the smoke. You would just see my body melting down.
Okay, also auch der Körper des Behandelten ist geschmolzen. Any idea why? Were they still linked to these demons?
I don't know, but then you just die and then stay there in some disgusting liquid, and then yeah, so we kept on doing that. Then we found quite a few people actually, and then eventually we wondered how this was possible, because each and every one really they were moving around with the flour.
Also alle sind rumgelaufen mit diesem Mehl, die Leute zu bestreuen. Und dann?
But I think why some people still got possessed, it was because we had it in some kind of bag, so it wasn't making direct contact with your body.
Okay, also es war in gewissen Säcken, ist nicht direkt im Körperkontakt gekommen. Aha.
So I think after that incident, a few months passed. I don't know, 4 or 5 months.
Also er meint, nach diesem Ereignis sind mehrere Monate verstrichen.
Yeah, everything just went back to normal.
Alles wurde wieder normal.
And then after that, one day everyone was just doing their normal thing. Everyone was doing their jobs.
Alles ging normal weiter.
A really big cloud of smoke, with some kind of diamond in its forehead.
Okay, also ein großer, wie eine riesige Rauchwolke mit einem Diamanten auf seiner Stirne.
It had some kind of diamond in its center.
Im Zentrum hat er diesen Diamanten gehabt, okay?
So it was approaching the island, but you could still see it from really far away. I don't know, from maybe like behind Pineapple Bay, you could see it. That's how we started seeing it. But it was really big, Then it kept on coming. But then by then, we had already surrounded almost the whole island in the flour,
Also dieser Geist, das war ein sehr großer Dämon, der kam vom Festland hinter eine Insel, kam der rüber, hat man gesehen. Und die hatten dann die Insel fast fertig bestreut mit diesem Mehl.
So it kept on approaching, but it took quite some time. Yeah, it would have gotten here immediately, but then it wasn't moving so fast, So fast, it didn't really look. Everyone had forgotten about what had happened before.
Also alle haben eigentlich vergessen, was passiert war, und dieser Geist kam nicht ganz schnell, sondern kam einfach nach und nach auf die Insel zu.
But then, I actually kind of knew what was going on, and then I tried my best to inform everyone I could, So eventually, eventually we all got back together again.
What did you tell them?
I told them what the cloud, it looks similar to the smoke that attacked us a few months ago, And then they're all like, no, it can't be, it's way too big. Then I just told them, but if you just come, we should be ready in case it is actually, So we should just be ready for it in case, yeah.
Also wir sollten uns auf diesen Geist vorbereiten. I want to mention that initially, when you told me the story the first time, you said it was a master demon.
Yes, that was their leader. Yes.
It was the leader of these smaller demons.
Yes.
And the smaller demons were possessing and binding the people on the island, right? And that master demon came from the mainland.
Yes.
You saw it approaching from Bulago Island. And then something weird happened. I don't know, let's see what you're going to say now. Also das war wie ein Hauptdämon, der den anderen Dämonen... Did he give orders to these smaller demons? Do you know that?
I don't know how it happened, but it was first the smaller demons. Then after those months, it just randomly started coming. It just kind of came into existence out of nowhere. Huh?
Also aus dem Nichts meint war es gekommen. Okay, and then?
It started approaching the island, not really fast, but at a moderate pace.
Okay.
Then when I told everyone, of course they didn't want that to happen again, because a lot of people lost people who they cared about.
Okay, also viele Menschen haben Leute verloren, die sie geliebt haben durch diese Dämonen.
Everyone came back to that same place. Then this time we were ready. We knew what to do, so we got plenty of flour. Then
Also sie haben sich quasi mit Mehl versorgt, weil sie wussten, was sie tun sollten.
we started adding more and more around the island, huh? And then we wanted to be ready, huh? So after that, it still kept on coming and coming and coming. Then I think when it was a bit closer, then just a small bit of it, it melted away, like as if it had possessed someone. Yet, with the smaller ones, which were in form of smoke, I think for them they wouldn't die immediately. But this one, parts of it melted away.
Of the big demon?
Yes, of the biggest.
Also vom großen Dämon sind einige Teile auch weggeschmolzen.
So it kept on coming to the island. Then, I don't know, for some reason we got back to the tree again. Again we were all tied there.
What? Dann wurden wieder alle gefangen genommen um diesen Baum rum. And then?
But then this time, they weren't physical ropes. It was kind of like some binding force that was holding us
Okay, es war
there.
seine Macht, die sie festgehalten, nicht diese Schnüre wie vorher.
So we couldn't actually move, but then still somehow we managed to get out. Actually, that one I don't know how.
Okay. Dann haben sie sich befreien können, aber weiß nicht wie.
And then eventually it came to the island. Then I think, it kind of split the island in half. It split the island in half, and then it possessed one side completely. It was covered in smoke.
Also die Insel wurde in zwei Teile geteilt und ein Teil wurde komplett besetzt.
So I was watching everything from above the whole island, but then it was like I couldn't do anything. I could just see what was happening.
Ja, he couldn't interfere. Also er war machtlos und musste einfach zuschauen, was passiert.
And then the side where that tree was that they had tied us on, it kind of, I don't know, disappeared, I think. And then it completely possessed one side, but then yes, it was still the same. It was just that it was completely covered. See, like how the place can be covered in fog and you can't see what's behind or inside. That's kind of what was happening.
Also es war wie ein Nebel, der das Ganze bedeckt hat und man hat eigentlich nicht gesehen, was dahinter geht. Now I have another question. You told me that ghost, he split the island in half.
Yes.
In two parts, I remember.
Yes.
And then you said that he banned the demons which were on our side. He banned them to Miende. Do you remember now?
Yes, I remember that as well, yeah.
Also der Geist der große Geist, der Hauptdämon hat die Geister gebunden, die bei uns waren, in unserer Gegend, und hat sie in das Nachbardorf verbannt. Is that the end of the story?
No, it's not.
What?
It's
Because we are already 20 minutes.
Don't worry, it's actually almost done. So the only thing, it collected all the small demons and they kind of went and joined. It was like there were parts of it. The only thing you could now see was just that diamond that I had said earlier.
Also den Diamanten hat man immer gesehen.
And then actually then I thought that maybe if you put a really large amount of flour on it, maybe it would disappear.
Aha. So er hat gedacht, er kann eine große Menge von Mehl nehmen, dass es dann verschwindet. And did it disappear or not? Ist es verschwunden oder nicht?
We kind of got some special guns, and then yes. That's what I'm just telling you what I saw.
Ja, okay.
Then a lot.
Also sie haben Spezialgewehre bekommen.
There weren't so many. I think there were around 5 or 6. Then we just put in a lot of flour.
Dann haben sie mit Mehl auf dieses Wesen geschossen.
Then yeah, we just started shooting at that diamond.
Dann haben sie auf den Diamanten gezielt. Now, what according to you? I mean, what is? Can you draw any conclusions out of that? I can draw my own conclusions. Can you draw any conclusions out of that quite impressive story? Kannst du irgendwelche Rückschlüsse aus dieser eindrücklichen Geschichte ziehen? Can you?
Yeah, I think. Yeah. Okay. Let me just finish it. Then after I'm going to.
It's not yet finished.
Yeah. So it started melting, but really slowly.
The big demon.
Yes.
Ist dann langsam geschmolzen.
And then part of the other half started clearing up a bit.
Okay, also
but then it took quite a while. I think maybe a day. We were just firing at that diamond non-stop.
Also die haben ununterbrochen auf diesen Diamanten geschossen. With your wheat guns.
Yes.
Mit einem Weizengewehr. Okay, you think people will believe that? Anyway, it's fun. Let's go. Okay, finish. No problem.
So after it melted away, yeah, I think everything went back to normal, but the island was still split in half.
Okay.
And then after that, the island was never the same. The other part of Miende, it wasn't the same anymore.
Okay, war
For some
nicht,
reason,
yeah.
It was like when you would go there, you would feel like something's still there, except it was inactive.
Also er sagte, es war nicht mehr so wie vorher, aber du kannst immer noch spüren, es ist was dort, aber es ist wie inaktiviert. Okay.
So yeah, after I think we sometimes would go there, find out what that was, but then still nothing would happen to us. But you would feel like there's something watching you, or there's some kind of spirit surrounding that other half.
Okay.
And then eventually we just decided not to go back there anymore because we realized it might be a bit too dangerous.
Okay, also so wie es aussieht, haben sie sich dann entschieden, nicht mehr da zurückzugehen, es sei zu gefährlich. Now, let me mention that is Kome Island, and we have had really many quite scary spiritual attacks there. Not myself, not you, but other African people. 2 or 3 people were almost killed by spirits. One was strangled,
Yes, I remember.
and another one was raped by several women. Yeah. So it really bad stuff happened there. I don't know how it is now. For me, I'm okay there. Even Clarkson said, very peaceful.
Yeah, it's a nice island, yes.
But it definitely, that dream had a big meaning for me, because I could understand what is going on. So, also diese Insel, das ist ja ein Teil von der Insel, einen Teil haben wir gekauft. Und da hat es wirklich ganz schlimme geistige Angriffe gegeben für mehrere Mitarbeiter. 2 oder 3 wurden sogar fast getötet. Also einer oder 2 wurden erwürgt, einer wurde von mehreren Frauen vergewaltigt, und ganz schlimme Geschichten. Und darum macht der Traum extrem Sinn für mich. Und auch dieser Hauptdämon ist sehr beeindruckend, wie er die schwächeren Geister quasi zwingt, eine Gegend zu verlassen und in eine andere Gegend zu gehen. Also that master demon was somehow forcing the smaller demons to leave one area and go to another area, right?
No, it wasn't forcing them. When it went to the other side, they kind of just followed it, like there were parts of it. Once they joined, you wouldn't know that there was ever...
Okay, die wurden also nicht gezwungen, sondern wo der große Geist dann war, sind auch die kleineren hin mitgegangen. Okay, I think you get the bigger picture. We also have such stories in Europe. You can even buy books by people who have similar stories than you have, but here it is very, very common, and it is also for some people it's very cruel. And one guy, he doesn't even want to talk about it. It was so shocking for him. He doesn't want to talk about it. And yeah, we had also, just recently, we had 2 people confirming that they saw 2 spirits. He opened even the door physically, passed through the room, opened the other door and escaped through the terrace. And then one of our workers, he saw 2 people sitting on a platform. And these 2 people, it was a couple, I was told, yeah. And they told him, if you don't want to see us, if you want us to disappear, to go away, you have to sacrifice a white cock. Und da waren Leute, einer hat erst vor kurzem Geister gesehen, der eine hat die Türe geöffnet, die wirklich physisch verschlossen war, lief durch das Zimmer, hat die andere Türe aufgemacht, ist dann durch den Balkon verschwunden. Und dann ein Mitarbeiter hat 2 Geister gesehen und die haben ihm gesagt, wenn ihr wollt, dass wir von hier verschwinden, dann müsst ihr ein weißes Huhn schlachten. Und so fängt es meistens, einen weißen Hahn schlachten, und so fängt es meistens an. Das heißt, diese Geister fordern Opfer und dann nach dem weißen Huhn kommt die weiße Ziege, dann kommt eine Kuh und dann eventually kommt ein Mensch. Also es sind ganz schlimme Tendenzen, wir haben das auch nicht gemacht. So when they start asking you for a white cock, we don't do things like this, because that's the first step to a sacrifice. That's what his ancestors want. Then after the cock, they want a goat, and then the next step would be eventually a sheep, and then a cow, and then they want a human being. So it's very disgusting, and we never really did anything about it. So Clarkson, you said that thank you for the dream. It was given to you. I think for me, by the way, the wheat has a big meaning for me, because the wheat, you make bread, and Jesus said he's the bread of life. Yeah. So it has a very big meaning for me. Just small. Also das Weizenmehl, also Jesus, das Brot des Lebens, und du brauchst nur wenig, quasi mal ein bisschen von diesem Brot des Lebens zu geben, und der alte Mensch, der Dämon, fängt an zu schmelzen. So my interpretation was that the flour, Jesus has the bread of life, so we don't have the bread yet, but we have the substance to make the bread, yeah, the ingredients to make the bread, and you don't need the full bread. You just need some tiny little parts of the bread. It will also not resurrect that person, but at least it will dissolve the old person, and then something new can be created. That's my interpretation. I think it is very deep, and I really thank the giver of that dream. It really is interesting. And you said in your school, you saw chairs moving, or what was that? Also hat erzählt, dass in seiner Schule, wenn die Kinder noch weiter lesen wollten in aller Ruhe, dann sind die zum Teil spät nachts in das Lesezimmer gegangen, und dann hat es da so Stuhlrücken und Tischrücken gegeben. You said that when people go for reading sessions in peace, what happened?
Yeah, now at my school, my former school, when people could go for extensions, reading around past midnight. Yes, past midnight, someone is there reading, trying, maybe preparing for examinations or for a test, something like that. Mm-hmm. So my best friend went to a classroom to read. So as the reading was going on around the 2 in the night, so he just, from randomly, just see a chair moving instead of like this,
like this. So
violently.
Some people, yes, like some people are fighting with the chairs, but nobody's touched, nobody's
there.
Er
sagt, dass eigentlich die Geister wie um diese Stühle gekämpft haben. Die haben sich sehr, sehr schnell bewegt, die Stühle und die Tische. Unglaublich. Also es wären dann in Europa das Poltergeister. Yes.
So he narrates it was really very shocking, just like seeing a chair taking itself, very shocking, and he jumped through, so he went outside. he did not go. He has never tried to go back to read again.
Really?
Yeah, unless if he has a group of people with him.
Also er ist nie mehr zurückgegangen, weil er Angst hat und er hat, wenn er geht, geht er nur mit einer Gruppe von Menschen.
Yeah,
okay.
So I told him, I want to go and I sit in the same position, sit in the same class. Because me, I don't know, but I felt like there is nothing that can scare me. Could read past midnight, 2, 3,
So
4.
you never made that
I
experience?
sat down, nothing.
Also er sagt, er hat nie dieses Erlebnis gehabt, aber seine Freunde da. Okay, das war genügend für heute, da seid ihr beschäftigt. Das ist jetzt 30 Minuten, das ist ein sehr tiefes Thema. Nicht jeder kann damit umgehen. I think we are well satisfied now with over 30 minutes.
Yes.
It gives us an insight into the spiritual world, and not everybody can handle. Some people really get very scared about it, but that's reality. That's definitely reality, we have no doubt about that. I hope you enjoy, and we see you next time.
But